Well, welcome back to Twin Cities. Oh, thank me later. Yes, you're welcome. I hope you're out there finding out about the 8A program with the SBA because it's time to get this bread. It's like a lot of us. We watch movies today. We look for entertainment today, and we don't really get inspired like we used to when we were kids, if you're anything like me. So I'm excited to bring to you today our next guest. Her name is Camille Kauer. She is absolutely incredible. She has a mother and a father that have been a part of some of your biggest moments in life, but she too is the founder, producer, and award-winning host of the E-Spot with Camille. So help me welcome her to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You can network and meet women that you are aligned with, that have power and purpose. Girl, break it on down. Tell us everything.
Well, so my mom is a crazy person, and I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. Like, this is not a traditional mom by any means. It was so easy for her to make that transition from being a black belt in Shotokan and doing all these fights overseas, which is where I grew up until I was about 13. She went from there to starting to do movies and doing stunts because she still liked that physical aspect, even though she was working as a makeup artist as well as a visual artist. On this side, because that was what she got her degree in.
Camille, I want you to list some of the films that your father has been a part of, because the 90s, there was nothing like the 90s. So pop off, share with us some of the greats that we've been
I'll even go back a little bit further because he did A Soldier Story, which was something that I think all of us, our parents might have been in love with. And then he did Breaking. He did New Jack City, Jason's Lyric, like you mentioned, Players Club.
Oh, Players Club. Lisa Ray comes through.
Baby Boy, which is always on.
That's right.
And then to move it up to a more current time, he did With This Ring, Something New, which I also got to work on with him. And then Girls Trip, of course, all the girls loved that movie.
Yes.
And he's done some TV movies or TV shows as well, The Mayor and some other things. I can't remember all of it. Like, just look up his IMDb, Dwight Williams. The most proud I've been of him is that even though he's had such a great career, his legacy is helping others.
How has this upbringing really created the woman that you are today? Tell us more about you and your history in the industry as well.
When we moved from Europe to America, I was put in ESL, and they were like, if you want to be American, you can only speak English. So then I just kept working in the entertainment industry, although I found other loves within the business. Like, I worked as a makeup artist on Hustle and Flow, and I became a spa director and went to esthetician school. And because it was something I could do and still be a stay-at-home mom, which is something I felt I missed out on because I went to 26 different schools before I graduated high school. Everybody left North Carolina. So I started getting involved in politics to kind of be able to go talk to the governor and Vice President Biden at the time and speak to them about, hey, don't boycott us every time we get the wrong person elected. If anything, come to us, help us so we can switch the tables and they can understand why these things are so important. And I wanted to have my own platform, my own way of speaking. And next thing you know, I was podcasting.
Yes. So I want to touch on your podcast because you've done some amazing things. Talk about the inspiration to start the podcast. What can we expect to hear? You've had 3 seasons that you're highlighting. So talk a little bit about the inspiration behind that.
The radio station that I was working for pretty much shut down because of the pandemic as well. And I had to teach my daughter from home, virtual academy and so on. So I was just like, why me? Every time I get close to the finish line, it gets moved. So a publicist reached out to me about if I knew anyone that was a podcaster because they had canceled all in-studio interviews in LA, and I just helped her book a guest on Extra. So I was like, I don't yet, but give me 2 weeks. So the E-Spot, it started off as the E being for entertainment, but I've expanded it a little bit more because just like with any woman, especially me being ADHD, I don't have just one interest. I love interior design. I love art. I love all these different things that I can get involved in. So it just kind of lucked out that because I was in NABJ, the National Association for Black Journalists, the different stories they couldn't necessarily cover or couldn't cover enough, like just a 2-minute news show, they would send to me like, hey girl, can you, do what you do. And so that's how I got connected with George Floyd Memorial Center, Roger Floyd, which was George Floyd's uncle. So I was able to interview them, and I brought in the police union rep to bring in community policing, where they actually were part of the community and really try to prevent all of this violence that was happening at the time. And
still today. Okay.
Misunderstanding. Exactly.
Yes.
Like still. So,
girl, I want to touch on that because we're in the Twin Cities right now on your Saturday night, and if anybody knows about George Floyd and the story and the injustice, although we do have a sentencing and we're happy that there was a level of justice served. Talk about what you're doing with the George Floyd organization in your town and why that's important to you.
A very liberal area. It's a lot, like you said, it's a melting pot of a lot of different races, a lot of different people. And I think when May 25th happened, we all took pause. We all took like self-evaluations and just realized, wait, who are our friends? Who are not our friends? Like ended friendships, blocked people, and started noticing what companies were just posting the black square and where are they now?
That's it.
And I know I scroll through, and if I don't see people that look like me, then it's not meant for me anymore. The whole idea was to amplify Black, Indigenous people of color that worked in interior design business, because that's 86% white. And that's someone that's coming into your home and making it a home. This is why we're doing this, and we're no apologies. Like I went to Dallas Market and they had a panel about diversity and the importance of it. Yeah, like we're good for entertainment, to be presenters, to be the acts, the musical acts, but we're not good enough to get the award. We're deserving of those awards. Like I was the first person of color, Black woman, or woman for that matter, that won my award here locally. They should have been first. And so now that you are the first, you have to open doors for others. And that's why I loved helping with the George Floyd Memorial Center, because their goal is to teach the next generation. It's in.
What are some tips for women at home that are like, man, I've got the glory, I've got the excellence, but I still haven't maximized my purpose and my power. What tips do you have for women that are looking to become more of themselves?
Well, one thing that worked for me is, because even though you might be gifted with, all this beautiful melanin, all this beautiful DNA, it doesn't mean that it doesn't come at a cost and a price. Like people need to pay for your talents and the education that you put into it. But at the same time, I'm a mom. Like that's my number one job, because I feel like it's so important for my daughter to also know what she's capable of. So I just feel like it's really important for you to set your boundaries, know your why, and know your purpose, and stick within that. And always go back to why you started in your business, and that will never lead you wrong.
Love it, Camille. You are a superstar, a shining star. Tell the people at home how they can find you, how they can work with you, how they can be featured on your podcast. How can they reach you?
Yeah, so the best way is to go to my website. It's Camille Kauer, KAUER.com. It rhymes with flower, really simple. That's the best way to find all my social media, all my handles. And if you want to be a guest, you can send me a message on there as well. Otherwise, you can check me out, thespotcamille@gmail.com. I should
Yes, Camille. Well, guess what, Twin Cities? You're in luck, because Camille's going to be back with us oftentimes. So she's going to be sharing, doing all of the things. She's got her space right here in the Twin Cities, and I'm so happy you're working with the George Floyd family. His murder really sparked my desire to bring a space to my hometown, and bringing women like you to our community is only going to help level us up. So thank you for being with us today. You guys are going to see Camille again, and we're going to take a quick break.
I'm AJ Aquia Johnson, and I help people rock their better. I help people connect with their happy. And you're watching Connect Network TV.
Hi, I'm Dondre Whitfield, and go check out my book, Male vs. Man. And you are watching the Connect Network TV.